There you see the clamp arms just beneath the payload fairing opening up, and momentarily the large truss structure next to the rocket, the transporter erector, now starting its recline away from the Falcon 9. Pulls back about 13 degrees away, and unlike here in Florida, this recline that is currently in motion will be its one and only pull away from the Falcon 9 rocket. Our thanks to the more than 5,500 of you who are watching along with us live this evening. If you haven't already, you could do us a big favor. Just click that like button and share the stream. Allow some more folks to find their way into this launch coverage in these final few minutes of the count.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Good call there on the progress of fueling. We should hear a similar call regarding upper stage liquid oxygen load at around T-minus 2 minutes. And as a reminder for folks, we will have a separate dedicated live stream for the Atlas V rocket launch.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Confirmation of upper stage LOX load. Falcon 9 now fully loaded with 1 million pounds of propellant.
Ground gas closeouts.
Good call there. The ground gas closeouts venting, which you can very clearly hear now. SpaceX releases the remaining liquid oxygen from the feed lines there at the pad. Coming up to the final minute of the count as the rocket is about to enter into its automated startup sequence.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And we are now just awaiting the SpaceX launch director to confirm their status of go for launch.
Launch director, go for launch.
And with that good call, we're going to step back on our commentary, watch along with you, and join you on the other side of liftoff.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
Power and telemetry nominal.
vehicle supersonic.
Now 1 minute into flight, the Falcon 9 rocket traveling faster than the speed of sound and approaching max Q, the point of greatest aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle.
Max Q.
Passing through max Q, the Falcon 9 rocket is throttling back up on the 9 Merlin 1D engines at the base of the booster. Coming up next will be MVAC chill, the thermal conditioning of the Merlin vacuum engine on the rocket's upper stage.
MVAC chill.
And there's that good call out for that milestone. Coming up next, a few events in quick succession here. We'll see first stage main engine cutoff, or MECO. It's about T plus 2 minutes and 26 seconds. That'll be followed by stage separation and then the ignition of that Merlin vacuum engine. The fairing halves will separate nearly 3 minutes into flight. About 10 seconds to MECO.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC startup.
Good calls, good visuals from the Falcon 9 onboard cameras. You can actually, looks like, see just a little bit of the plume there off of the engine nozzle as the Falcon 9 upper stage pulls away further from the booster.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And you can see one of those fairing halves making its way back to Earth there. Once back through the atmosphere, the fairings will deploy steerable parachutes, make their way for a soft splashdown in the waters of the Pacific Ocean, a little bit further downrange from where the booster is set to land on the drone ship. Now more than 3.5 minutes into the mission so far. Coming up next will be the 3-engine entry burn on the booster, helping to dramatically slow the vehicle down, shaving off around the order of 2,200 kilometers per hour on that speedometer there. Those puffs that you see occasionally like that in between the hypersonic grid fins, those are the cold gas thrusters that SpaceX uses to adjust the attitude or positioning of the Falcon 9 first stage. Help make sure it's in the right orientation ahead of the start of the entry burn. Coming up on 5 minutes into flight. We're just about 1 minute away from the start of that entry burn. Look up through the inner stage there on the left-hand side of your screen. Again, the booster flying today has the tail number of 1100. This will be its 7th flight and 7th landing coming up, of course. Coming up to the start of the entry burn in about 10 seconds.
Stage 1 engine burn startup.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 engine burn shutdown.
And with a good conclusion to the entry burn, coming up next will be the single engine landing burn, taking the booster all the way down for what will hopefully be a soft landing on the drone ship called, Of Course I Still Love You. So far, all moving smoothly with this Falcon 9 flight here this evening. The 78th orbital flight for SpaceX so far this year.
Stage 1 transonic.
First stage now traveling below the speed of sound. Landing burn coming up in less than 30 seconds.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Confirmation of the flight termination system being saved on the upper stage. No longer needed at this point in flight.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And a good landing for the 7th time for Booster 1100.
And back shutdown.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And with a good engine shutdown and a nominal orbit achieved on the upper stage, that will coast until T plus 52 minutes 25 seconds. There will be a brief 1-second burn to circularize the orbit, and the Starlink satellites will be deployed at T plus 1 hour, 1 minute, 17 seconds post liftoff. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move quickly through our mission stats as they currently stand, because we've got another launch to get ready for, folks. The fun doesn't stop here. But this, before we wrap things up, was the 7th flight of Falcon 9 Booster 1100, marking SpaceX's 659th launch of a Falcon 9 rocket, the 77th of the year so far, the 78th of 2026 as far as orbital flights, including the one Falcon Heavy launch. This was the 594th Falcon booster reflight, with the launch of a booster that has flown at least once. The 161st orbital launch for SpaceX within the last 365 days. This was the 211th orbital launch from Pad 4 East for SpaceX, out of a total of 280 orbital launches from this site. Here's a look at the Falcon bar chart from this and years past. Moving on to some recovery stats. This was the 207th good landing of a booster on the drone ship called Of Course I Still Love You, marking the 523rd SpaceX drone ship landing and the 632nd SpaceX booster landing to date, the 634th overall landing of an orbital class rocket, including 2 from Blue Origin. Finally, with some industry stats, this was the 43rd orbital launch from California this year, the 87th from U.S. soil, the 96th from a U.S. rocket company, and the 156th orbital launch attempt around the world. There have been 6 orbital failures so far this year. Here's a look at the pie chart and where things currently stand. And before you know it, we'll have launch number 97 on the board, as over here in Florida, clock is ticking down to the liftoff of this Atlas V rocket here tonight, with ULA having extended their pre-countdown, or excuse me, pre-fueling hold in their countdown. The launch director, Don Mallon, has adjusted the liftoff time. Team's now targeting the flight of this Atlas V rocket at 12:27:45 seconds a.m. Eastern. Again, that is 12:27:45 seconds a.m. Eastern, 04:27:45 UTC for those around the world. The upper stage liquid oxygen tank has reached 75% filled. Teams are currently chilling the LOX hydrogen prop lines to begin tanking the liquid hydrogen tank on the Centaur upper stage. Of course, we'll have full coverage for you on that mission coming up here very shortly, in about 14 minutes or so. Well, actually 16 minutes. We'll start at L minus 1 hour. Will just the stream start time to reflect the new T0 liftoff time for the Atlas V. So for John Pisani, who's been gracious enough to run the technical operations of this broadcast and the one coming up here on the Atlas V, for John, the mods, Cumulus Granatus, thank you all. I'm Will Robinson-Smith, reporter with Spaceflight Now. We will see you very shortly, folks, but if for some reason you're unable to join us for that Atlas stream, be good to yourselves, be good to others, and we will see you next time. And until then, bye-bye. For the rest of you,